I changed the pouch. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Go for it.
And does everybody have the words? I guess I can give them out later. I run out of breath because it's so hot, but we should keep singing that because it's so pretty. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
So I would like to
shalom.
invite everybody to relocate to a fan. Seriously? We don't believe in martyrdom in this tradition.
Even the people at home.
We're here for you. Bailey, move close to a fan. There's one right here. Excellent. And Seth, would you do us the honor of bringing your Siddur up here, turning to page 3, and offering us the blessing on all our behalf? Read on page 3.
You want to read the English?
No, read on page 3. It's English. Yes.
Either one. I'm going to give you mine if you promise to give it back to me. Here, either one. I know, my pages stick together all the time. Thank you. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. We turn to page 5 as we bring sweetness into the day with the blessing of Manischewitz.
Yay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim, Shabbat Shalom. All right. So everybody make sure you turn to somebody who you don't know or whose name you're quite sure you've forgotten and reintroduce yourself or introduce yourself. Wish them Shabbat Shalom, including Laura. Laura or Lauren? Laura, our accompanist for the evening, subbing for Seth. By the way, Ben is going to be back next week. Ben has gotten a
On
visa.
Friday.
His wife has gotten a month-long visa, and so she's going to be here, and he's going to be here starting next week through the holidays. So we're really excited about that.
We're almost at 10, right? Oh, someone here is not right?
We're at 8. Well, Shabbat Shalom. Let's turn to page 12. Oh, and rejoice.
I paper clipped my pages together. Sorry about that. Lechu niranena, lechu niranena, lechu niranena, l'Adonai. Lechu niranena, lechu niranena, lechu niranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzor yishenu, nikadma pana bitoda. Naria, naria, litzor yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu niranena, lechu niranena, lechu niranena, l'Adonai. Lechu niranena, lechu niranena, lechu niranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzor yishenu, nikadma pana bitoda. Naria, naria, yitzor yishenu, bizmirod naria lo. Lechu niranena, lechu niranena, lechu niranena, lechuneranena, 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 ladonai.
344. We're singing a new song, Shir Chadash.
Shiru ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru ladonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru ladonai shir chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru ladonai kol haaretz. Shiru ladonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
Page 335. We're going to welcome the bride in both Yiddish and Hebrew.
As ich will singen, Lecha Dodi, sollst du singen.
Chiri, chiri, bim.
As ich will singen, Lekras Kala, sollst du singen.
Chiri, chiri, bam.
Lecha Dodi, Lekras Kala.
Chiri, chiri, bam.
Lecha Dodi, Lekras Kala. Chiri, biri, 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 bam, chiri, bim.
Chiri, bam.
Cherry bam,
Chiri, bam.
cherry bim bam bim bam bim bam, cherry bim,
Chiri, bam.
cherry bim,
Chiri, bam.
cherry bim bam bim bam bim bam, oi cherry biri biri bim bam bam, oi cherry biri biri bim bam bam, oi cherry biri biri bim bam bam, oi cherry biri biri bam. As ich will singen, Yerushalayim, sollst du singen.
Tel Aviv?
Okay. Chiri biri bam. As ich will singen, ihr HaKodesh, sollst du singen.
Brooklyn.
Maybe. Chiri biri bam.
Chiri, biri, bam.
Yerushalayim,
Tel
biri
Aviv.
bam. Ihr HaKodesh,
Brooklyn.
Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, Chiri biri 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 bam, Chiri bim,
Chiri, bam.
Chiri bam,
Chiri, bam.
Chiri bim bam bim bam bim bam, Chiri bim,
Chiri, bam.
Chiri bam,
Chiri, bim.
Chiri bim bam bim bam bim bam, oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam, oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam, oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam, oi chiri biri biri bam, Chiri bim.
Chiri, bam.
Cherry bomb,
Chiri, bim.
cherry bim bam bim bam bim bam, cherry bim,
Chiri, bam.
cherry bomb,
Chiri, bim.
cherry bim bam bim bam bim bam, oi cherry berry berry bim bam bam, oi cherry berry berry bim bam bam, oi cherry berry berry bim bam bam, oi cherry berry berry bam. hard to stop that one.
Well, keep going then.
Well, let's sing L'Chadodi, since we mentioned it.
Okay. That's it. You can tell the heat is getting to us. We are
What?
punchy. We are
No.
punchy. L'Chadodi on page 20. This is that, kind of, in Hebrew.
Page 20. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Sh'hamor b'tzachor b'nibor echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem el tiferet v'litila. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshevat hila. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, ki va'orechu mi'ori, uri shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Ninth stanza, rise.
Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'sohola, toch emunei am segula. Bo'i chala, L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We welcome the cool of the evening, Mariv Arabim, as evening passes over. Page 30.
Lai 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 lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, ma'ariv aravim. B'chochma poteach sheharim, u'bitvuna mishanei itim. ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. לי 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 Borei Yom, Borei yom v'layla. Olel or mipnei choshech, vechoshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, mavdil ben yom uben layla. Adonai tzivot shemo. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Amari v'arabim. Lai 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 lai. Ma'ariv aravim.
With an everlasting love, you've offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws, precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws, your mitzvot. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Let us rest in those words and in that truth as we lie down.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochenu Ukumenu nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam balayla Nege yomam balayla Ve'ahavatcha al tasir Mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol lebavcha v'chol nafshecha U'b'chol meodecha V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi misavecha Hayom ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אמת.
Let's read together on 37. Together, love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you're tired or rested or hot or cooled, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. And all this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us, that you alone are our God and we are your Israel, your people. And they accepted your sovereignty there as they crossed the sea and headed towards Sinai. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously as we do now, saying, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you? Page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם אבד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, כי הלום יד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל. 43, let there be love. Or 42? Are we at 42?
Let's try Ufros Alenu Sukat Shlomecha.
That would be 42.
Ufros Alenu Sukat, Sukat Shlomecha. Ufros Alenu Sukat, Sukat Shlomecha. Lai 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 lai. Ufros אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל. ועל ירושלים ועל כל עמו, ועל ירושלים שלום, ועל ירושלים ועל כל עמו, ועל ירושלים שלום. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל. שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל.
We're invited. It's kind of the miracle of tefillah, the idea that we are actually invited 3 times a day to stand before our Creator and pour out our hearts and know that that connection is always there. So the invitation is now to rise, turn to page 46, face the ark, and allow the words to flow.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Ve'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'elam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rab leHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Verachamim Rabim, Samech Noflim Verafech Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar. Michamocha Bal Givurot Umidah Melech, Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah leHachayot HaKol. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. I invite you to continue your prayer privately between pages 54 and 60, the words on the page were the words of your heart, and please take a seat when you feel you are finished.
Page 62.
עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו עושה שלום במרומה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן ואמרו
that we're about to do a Mishaberach L'Cholim, a prayer for those who are sick as an ambulance drives by. So let's remember to hold in our prayers. Who's ever within that ambulance.
Ooh.
Page 253. That prayer for healing, body, spirit, psyche, relationship, self.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu the ones before us. Help us have the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
This week we're especially praying for Millie Rottenberg, Howard Simon, Gittel Bat Chana, Gloria Berkowitz, Bernice Portney, Kreindel Bat Yehudit Sharon, Kathy Gale, Florence Wellen, Beryl Ben Sima Vishmuel Leib, Ephraim Andrade, Enrique Duchitanga, Devorah Bat Yocheved, Shalom Avram Ben Golda Yeshayahu, Myrtle Cupid, Michael Rosenblum, Liana May Babcock, Leonard Kaminer, Maurice Stearns, Brian Clark, Novita Ruffin, Lori S., Harav Miriam Yael Bat Sarah Yitzchak, Maxwell Zwain, Menachem Mendel Ben Yehudit Michael, Tovia Ben Bela, Duane Charleston, Richard Foran, Sandra Myers Chaikin, and Joanna Tartikoff, Yohana Bat Sarah. And to these names we add Karav Shlomo Asher Ben Miriam,
Kentermimi Frischman, Ellen Golden, Trudy Regan. Misheberach imotenu mikor habrachot lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
may they know healing and wholeness fully and soon. Refuah Shlema. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So, we're coming up on Ruth Bader Ginsburg's first yard site. Boy, what a year it's been, huh? Feels like a lot longer than a year ago, doesn't it? And maybe we'll light a candle, maybe we'll say Kaddish, maybe we'll give tzedakah in her memory and honor. That's what Jews do when a yard site comes. And I'd like to offer this teaching in her honor and also in honor of my teacher, Rabbi Marcia Prager, who is also battling cancer and taught on this. And maybe you've read before, either when she died or when she was still alive, how proud Justice Ginsburg was of her Jewish roots and her Jewish identity. And like all kids who go to Jewish camp, she loved it. There's actually this amazing photograph, maybe you've seen it, of her at the age of 15 years old at Jewish camp Chenewa, giving a sermon on Shabbat. And you gotta wonder how many other young Jewish women were giving sermons in 1948. So even then, she was a trailblazer. And then when she was appointed to the Supreme Court, she had a large silver mezuzah on her office door. She was quoted as saying, that was her way of saying, hey, don't put a Christmas wreath on my door, please. But it was more than just decoration. She actually led a successful campaign to cancel oral arguments on the Supreme Court on Yom Kippur. She fought and won the option to remove the words Year of Our Lord on the membership certificate of attorneys who joined the Supreme Court. And she had Jewish art in her office. The piece I'm specifically thinking about on display is actually a very famous text from this week's Torah portion, which begins, Shoftim v'shotzrim titen lecha b'chol sha'arecha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha. Judges and officers, you will provide in all of your gates, which the Infinite One, your God, gives to you. Tribe by tribe, they will judge the people with mishpat tzedek, with righteous judgment. And this parsha of this week, Shoftim, opens with this famous clarion call to justice. Although really, truly, throughout the entire book of Devarim, of Deuteronomy, we're exhorted to live in right relationship with God, with each other, with the land. The instruction crescendos in righteous judgment that is accessible to everybody. Demanding, teaching that courts remain in open session right at the open gates of our towns, offering mediation, adjudication of disputes, without favoritism, fair process and integrity. Justice is not optional. The specific text, however, from the parsha that was hanging in her office includes the iconic phrase, tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice, you will pursue. If you will, it's one of the memes, or part of, if you will, the mission statement of the Jewish people. It's in that category. And Justice Ginsburg herself offered this quote. She said, I am a judge, born, raised, and proud of being a Jew. The demand for justice runs through the entirety of the Jewish tradition. I hope in my years on the bench of the Supreme Court of the United States, I will have the strength and the courage to remain constant in the service of that demand. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice, will you pursue? Now, you might have noticed that in this phrase, there are two words that get repeated. Tzedek, tzedek. Best translated as justice. It also happens to be the same root of the word right or correct. And tzedakah, when we give, economic justice, that comes from the same root as well. And like pursuing justice, tzedakah is also not optional. Still, it's instructive to look at how the Torah that we read and that we study became Judaism, because they're not the same thing, right? Jews don't read the Bible to take it literally. If we took the Bible literally, we would be sacrificing animals in the middle of Hamilton Park or JFK Boulevard, and we just don't do that, right? We have evolved over the last several thousand of years. There are layers and layers of interpretation, layers of case law, marinated in the history of the many regions in which we've lived, steeped in trauma, and sprinkled with lots of local customs and cultural mores. But one of the cardinal rules of Torah is that every single word in Torah is there for a reason. There is nothing extra and nothing missing, according to our rabbis. If something is repeated, or a word is seemingly out of place, or even seemingly misspelled, it's not an accident, and it is for the inquiring mind to ask, why? So what? What's up with that? And when we find such curiosities, we're not supposed to skip over them, or God forbid, fix them or edit them, or decide that they're politically incorrect and say, no, that was then and this is now. Rather, Jews immemorial ask, why is that there? What's it there to teach us? What are the implications? So I'm going to get back to tzedek, tzedek, tirdof in a second, because I hope you're thinking about why that word might be there twice. But I'll give you another famous example. The phrase in Torah repeated 3 separate times in 3 completely different sections of the Torah. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. 3 times. This happens to be where the kashrut rules of separating milk from meat come from. And over the centuries, the rabbis interpreted this to mean that each time that it is there in the Torah, it's for a different reason. It's to teach us something different. They concluded that the first time it's that, right, you don't cook meat and milk together. The second time it's you don't eat meat and milk together. And the third time is we don't receive any benefit from such a concoction. But another famous repetition in Torah is actually in the 10 Commandments. The difference, there are 2 different versions of the 10 Commandments, and the difference between those 2 different versions is the reason that we actually light or lit two Shabbat candles on Shabbat. One is for the version that says, you shall keep Shabbat, and the other one is for the version that says, you are to remember Shabbat. So because there are 2 different ways of offering that mitzvah in Torah, we honor both. And there are way more, but this week is the week of tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, justice, justice. Wouldn't it have been enough to just say tzedek, tirdof? Well, never satisfied to leave a good juicy questions unexplored, the rabbis in customary diversity came up with a number of different answers. In Torah, there's never one answer to anything, only good questions and lots of possible answers. And before I offer some of theirs that we can study throughout history, I kind of just want to throw it out here to us. What do you think that this doubling does or might do? What might be some of the possible implications of saying tzedek twice? Justice, justice shall you pursue. What do you think? This is now when you talk. For emphasis, that's sort of like the obvious idea, right? It's like you want to wake somebody up. This is important. You say it twice. You missed it the first time. You're going to get it. Kind of like when Abraham's got the knife over his son, Isaac, and he's about to call, and God calls out, Abraham! Abraham! Just in case he missed it the first time. Don't touch a hair on that boy's head. So yeah, for emphasis, absolutely. What else? What might be another reason? Yeah, Judy. So that it might be something that we kind of either forget or squirm around a little bit. Yeah, David. Well, I'm gonna have to read your lips. Right, so not to the left, not to the right, justice, justice alone. Okay, interesting. Don't know that translation, but okay. It's important to know that the Hebrew just says tzedek, tzedek tirdof. It leaves it to interpret exactly to be able to ask the question rather than answer it in the translation, which I actually am partial to. Other ideas? Yes, more Marion. Right. right? This is one. Beacon. Keep your eye on the prize. That's what we keep on. Others? Well, I'd like to suggest a few more. All yes, 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 and yes. There's no no's. Maybe there's more than one kind of justice. Right? There is, even in our own legal system, there's restorative justice, compensatory justice, restorative justice. So maybe it is listed there twice to understand that there are different ways that we can see this, right? And for example, in Torah it says an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, but in Judaism we don't do that. We understand that we don't take an eye for an eye, we compensate for the loss. Another possible answer for the duplication of the words is that justice to me might not be justice to you. Right? We want the punishment to fit the crime, but we also know that depending on the offense, different people feel different hurts in different ways, and repair is personal. And along those lines, because this is actually not a black and white issue, it's nice to say, oh, it's a pithy little thing in Torah, but I'm wrestling with this injustice. If someone doesn't fully understand what they sign in an agreement, can they then negate that agreement years later by claiming it wasn't fair and that it wasn't just? And what if by negating that agreement it stops other people from being helped in the same way that they had been early on? And there's actually a dispute going on here in Jersey City about public housing. And I know, Tom, you know about that. And I'm wondering if you thought that way too when you read about that. You know, it's not so simple. It's not so simple. Another way of understanding tzedek. Tzedek means that it's not just justice for one person, but it's justice for all. And the Torah goes on that judges must not distort judgment, must not favor the rich and powerful or give them preferential treatment. Bribes are forbidden. And interestingly, there's a story in the Talmud, they apply this principle by saying that if a poor person sues a rich person or a rich person sues a poor person, the rich person is not allowed to appear in court in clothes that are manifestly more dignified or impressive than those of the poor litigant. In the Talmud, it says the rich person either has to enable the poor person to dress better, or he himself, or she, has got to dress down, lest the poor litigant be weakened by his manifestly inferiority in dress, or the judge may be affected by the imbalance and take the wealthy person's statements more seriously. That is in the Talmud. But the one that I think a lot of people land is that we've got to pursue justice justly. And that's the reason, or that's a reason for the doubling, that we've got to pursue justice in a just way. An obvious example of that is torture, right? If you're in an investigation, clearly you're trying to get to the bottom of something, but aside from the fact that most experts agree that torture does not extract truth, is extracting information through torture, is that a just way to get to the truth? But that too is not so easy. Maybe torture is an easy one. I don't know, but I read another story that in the white supremacist plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Whitmer, the FBI sent undercover informants with wires. And they infiltrated the group, exposed the plot, and prevented the kidnapping. Well, good, right? But what if these informants did more than just passively observe and report on the actions of the suspect? What if they had a hand in the plot, as some are now asserting, starting from the very beginning? That one's really tough. And the implementation of justice is not quite as simple as the quotes might suggest. Still, this is the beacon, as some of us suggested, right? This is what we've got to hold in front of us. We've got to do justice. But we should also take a look at Rodef, and I think Maura Marion, you were suggesting that's what we've got to go after, right? That's what we've got to pursue. And that's a curious word too, because couldn't the Torah just say you will establish justice, or you should ensure justice? Wouldn't that be good enough? Well, the Sfat Emet teaches it's not good enough to seek and establish and ensure justice, but we've got to be a rodef. We've got to be a pursuer of justice. Now that's a serious word, actually, in Torah. It's actually got harsh connotations. The word rodef is usually reserved for somebody that's a threat to somebody's life, like it's a violent mugger chasing after you with a knife or a gun. That's a rodef. It's a strange word in Torah to use. It's not a neutral word. And interestingly, there's another place in Torah where we're charged to be a rodef. It's in Psalms where we're told, Bakashalom verodfehu, seek peace, seek shalom, and pursue it. And they both teach us that we got to pursue both justice and peace like a victim and turn the usual connotation of a pursuer on its head, turn it on its head for the good. A rodef isn't just establishing, sitting there smugly, passively hoping. A rodef is moving. A rodef is in hot pursuit, not chasing victims, but pursuing real justice that's grounded in truth and right speech and right action. The charge is for us to put the force of personal and societal engines and energy to work on behalf of justice and peace. And about pursuing justice justly. It can be easy to fall into the trap that the ends justify the means, that we can end war with guns, that we make peace with violence, that we bring about the ultimate justice, but along the way, a little repression, a little lies. Is that okay? Well, our holy teachers say, watch out. That doesn't work. Shalom is the path to shalom, and justice is the path to justice. We pursue justice with justice, and we blend it so that love and Torah should be at home in our gates, those sha'arei, those bisharecha. Gemara calls the body, the human body, a small city that we should learn from the mystical tradition that has 50 gates embracing hearts and mind, love, truth, reverence, shalom, justice. The quest is to place these at the gates of our hearts and minds. So may the sound of the shofar rouse us this month, mobilize us to awe, truth, peace, and justice in our gates. Shabbat Shalom. So I'm going to invite us to turn to page 282 and rise for Aleinu. V'hashevota, your turn.
V'hashevota
El levavecha,
el levavecha,
ki Adonai,
ki Adonai,
hu ha'Elohim.
hu ha'Elohim.
Again, v'hashevota,
v'hashevota
el levavecha,
el levavecha,
ki Adonai,
ki Adonai,
hu ha'Elohim.
hu ha'Elohim.
V'ne'emar,
Haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, bayom
I invite you to grab one of these little handouts, which we will be working with for the rest of this month, the month of Elul, because as is our custom, we contemplate the words of Psalm 27 as we are doing the accounting of our souls, the review of where we've gone out of alignment this year, and what we have to do to kind of put ourselves back into spiritual alignment, that chiropractic. Mary, why don't you sit down?
Hmm?
Why don't you sit down?
What if I don't want to? I'm fine. Adonai uri veishi mi ira. Adonai ma'oz chayai mi echad. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai. Be my help, be my guide, lead me on the path of light. Be my strength, be by my side, keep me from despair and fright. Hear my voice, oh, hear my plea. Do not hide your face from me. Keep me safe and let me be inside your sanctuary. From the English. Be my help, be my guide, lead me on the path of light. Be my strength, be by my side, keep me from despair and fright. Hear my voice, oh, hear my plea. Do not hide your face from me. Keep me safe and let me be inside your sanctuary. Adonai uri veishi mi ira. Be my help, be my guide, lead me on the path of light. Definitely helps me to think of these words during the month of Elul.
We all have work to do. We turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish, in which we honor those who have passed. We're not quite a minyan, so we're going to omit the first two indented lines as we remember David Schnur and Lisa Schachman, both of whom we're still in Shloshim. And we remember the yard site of Janice Seiner-Kolker. If there's anyone else who is observing a yard site or is in the area of mourning, I invite you to rise and say their name out loud. If it is your custom to rise for the mourner's Kaddish, You may also do that now as well as we offer these words. Yitkadal, v'yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
ve'alma
Divrach
divrach
kirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael va'agala u'bezaman kariv ve'imru Amen.
Yitbarach,
V'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudusha b'richu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata Tushvachata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen.
May their memories always be for blessing. Please be seated. Tom, you've now got your own microphone hooked up to our live stream. Yes.
Well, my office is cooled to about 55 degrees, so on average, I've been in very temperate surroundings.
Yashikah to all of us surviving this heat.
Yeah. So we have our next Tot Shabbat tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. in Hamilton Park. We'll sing, dance, talk, and have fun together. And Brucha the Bear will be there, as always.
I'll be blowing shofar too.
Ooh, really?
Wait.
Wow. So you can bring your shofar. So I just heard that the high holidays are coming up.
No?
Rip Van Winkle.
We better start planning. And this year, we won't be packing them in as we usually do, and so it'll be members only for in-person attendance to our High Holy Day services, or our members get the first call, I guess I would say.
Strong possibility that, for example, second day Rosh Hashanah will be able to
Right.
open the doors a lot wider. That's my sense.
Yes, I think so too. But so we're only going to have 200 people here. So the deadline to make sure that you are a member, which means applying, pledging, and making a payment toward your Teruma pledge. That is this weekend, Sunday. And we will be reviewing all the registrations and the seat requests. I don't know, Sunday, Monday, Sunday night? I think Sunday night, yeah.
Letters are going to go out, well,
Within a couple days.
by the end of next
Yeah,
week.
and you also have to have proof of vaccination. So if you're going to be coming, then please consider taking a shift as an usher, helping people find their way in, making a little human connection, and welcoming everybody who attends our High Holiday services. You can sign up for this on the website and in our other digital communications. If you're not able to come to the services, for any of the services that you'd like to attend, we can lend you the prayer books. And it's a limit of 2 sets per family. There are going to be 2 specific pickup times and 2 specific return times. You can't just come here and take the prayer books. We'll be observing Slichot Saturday, August 28th at 7:30 p.m. We'll have Havdalah first, and then a documentary film called Fumble Tuck, which is about the survivors of the Civil War in Sierra Leone and how they came together and reconstituted their country after a terrible civil war. After the film and discussion, we'll have Slichot prayers and the installation ceremonies for our High Holy Day Torah mantles. So we change the curtain and we change the mantles over the Torah scrolls. On Rosh Hashanah, we'll be distributing paper bags with a little wish list of things that we need for people to bring for our Wednesday night food pantry. And so we ask that people take the bags during Rosh Hashanah services and that they return them on Yom Kippur. And the food pantry always needs food. And you can also find the wish list on Amazon and on our temple website. You can also, well, we've changed the volunteering. We need volunteers. It's Wednesday night, 5:30, just for about an hour. We've removed the Sign Up Genius, and we're going to have a new, just an email address, which will be foodpantry@betheljc.org, except it's not set up yet, I don't think. Do you know if it's set up?
Is what set up?
The food pantry email address.
If you hit the link, it goes to Alan.
Yeah, oh, is that it?
What? If you hit the link in Bob's email, it goes to Alan.
Ah,
It doesn't go to
that's in the weekly email. Okay. Enrollment is going on as we speak for the religious school. So I don't know if there are any people here with religious school age kids, but we'll skip the details. Rabbi Moritz Introduction to Judaism class will begin Wednesday, October 27th. Yay. Runs for 20 weeks and will be held on Wednesday evenings beginning at 7:30 p.m. Open to all couples, Jewish or not, singles, seekers, anyone looking for a meaningful adult learning experience and a deeper understanding of Judaism. Please write Rabbi Moritz at betheljc.org or register online. She's also going to be teaching an introductory Hebrew class starting December 1st from 7 to 7:30 p.m., running 13 weeks. That's what I have.
Yeah, we're not busy.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful, holy work. Yeshikoach, Tom, thank you. Let's close out with Ein Keloheinu on page 322. Who could possibly be like you? Hit it, Laura. Yanai nanai yanananai yanai nanai yanananai yananai yanananai Ein Keloheinu Ein Kadonenu Ein Kimalkeinu Yananai 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 Ein Kemoshienu Mi Eloheinu Mi Chadonenu Mi Kemalkeinu Yananai 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 Mi Kemoshienu No Del Eloheinu No Del Adonenu No Del Kemalkeinu Yananai Yananai No Del Moshienu Baruch Eloheinu Baruch Adonenu Baruch Malkeinu Yananai Baruch Moshienu Atahu Eloheinu Atahu Adonenu bum bum bye.
Da 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 da. I lie, I lie, 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 lie. I lie, I lie, lie, lie.
Thank you, Seth. Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom.
B'te'avon. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh my goodness.
I have another announcement. I'd like to
getting
thank
bigger
Rabbi
every day.
Morit for a lovely service and another incisive Devar Torah. To thank Maura Marion for the music and Laura for your fine accompaniment. First time here? Wow. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us. Lots of challah. Have more. Have more. And thank you for cutting it in advance, Seth. That was very thoughtful. You're eating for two. You look great. Oh my goodness.